Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're a couple of days removed from the latest balance patch, and things have changed a lot. We had a dozen nerfs, 6 buffs, and, well, the meta's gotten very aggressive. No more armor demon hunter to hold everything back. So we have a lot of different decks to recommend. I will say things have been changing a ton in the last 48 hours, so I would expect updated deck list video probably next week. So again, craft at your own risk, as yeah, things are changing a lot, but there's a little bit of something for everybody, I feel like. So we're gonna go through that for both standard and wild decks that you can expect to climb with, whether it's silver, gold, platinum, diamond, or legend. And a reminder, we are just less than 100 subscribers away from 95K. You all have been absolutely insanely supportive, and I want to thank you. And again, we're going to do a giveaway at 95K. We're doing a giveaway, but we're also on that road to 100,000 subscribers to get that brand cosplay. So if you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like. Of course, hit that sub button. Make me go brand. The cringe is real. The cringe is absolutely real. So starting off with standard, we have Protoss Rogue, arguably the best deck out there. Maybe it's changing like by the day so far. But yeah, even though we got Chrono Boost at 5 mana, Artanis at 8, things are going, wait, why? I saw a mage symbol there. What's going on with Artanis? Regardless, I promise this is Rogue. I got the usual stuff of your Templars getting into Archons, dealing a bunch of damage. All the early game is relatively new though, right? You have Heartbringer of the Bladed, can play it early with a Shadow Step or like Prep Web of Deception, get a bunch of 2-drops. Really scammy, really kind of unfun. I feel like we've talked about that before. I just don't like how it's only good in the early game and it kind of sucks later. Not the most fun in the world, but Twisted Web Weaver, a really cheap card draw option, 1 mana. Basically, if you've played a minion already, you get to draw a card. Really solid card to cycle through your deck. And yep, deck's doing really well. Definitely more of a tempo style deck with some finishing power and more of a stomachable rogue deck for me, at least. I don't mind the tempo decks. It's the ones that just always completely OTK you and just draw nonstop. This does draw a lot, but I don't feel like it completely OTKs you outside of some Sonya Archon shenanigans. And another even more tempo based rogue deck, Combo Rogue, based around the pirate package. With Raiding Party, draws 2 pirates. Also with combo, get that weapon, which is Water Cannon. Pushes a ton of damage, right? It's 9 total. You get the 3 1/1s that can attack. And you got more pirates in here, like Sandbox Scoundrel to cheat a bunch of mana. Marin the Manager, which is some pretty good late game value. And we even have the Crystal Cove in here, which if you activate and play it into your Bargain Bin Buccaneer, they're both 5/5s, or you activated your Lucky Comet, then boom, you get even more 5/5s. So we got Quest Rogue stuff going on, and yeah, this deck doing really well too. Very much a tempo aggressive deck if you're looking for that. Looks kind of fun to play. I don't know, I might try it out myself. It's more throwback to older rogue decks for me at least. Fight still looking like a very strong class after the nerfs. Husk has been cut, at least from Starship DK. We're still running Sanguine Infestation, which is a great card. We're still running Infested Breath, which is a great card. And we're still running Arcanite Defense Crystal, despite the fact that, yeah, it got nerfed to 5. Still worth it in this deck. You can build a big starship, get a bunch of 10 drops outside of your Soulbound Spire, your Guiding Figure. And then you have, of course, Kill Jaden, because infinite value for 7 mana just is a thing. Oh, it's a War Golem. Well, not quite. And you can do some good work. Ceaseless still makes the cut, but you will see a lot less of this card on these deck list recommendations as it's a much slower, and the meta has sped up so much that the Ceaseless is like irrelevant a lot of this time, just like Kill Jada. But this deck wants to stay alive. They got some disruption with Rat as well, doing pretty darn good, but at least it's top 1K, and I will have a gameplay video on this later. I'm excited about this. Triple Blood DK's back, at least for a little bit. Right now, with all the aggression in the meta right now, it's pretty good to play Triple Blood DK, which of course, Vampiric Blood, the only triple blood card, but it's cheap, it's cycle, it's health, and you just play a ton of cheap removal, draw, and basically your end game, if you need it, which most matchups these days you don't, you kill Jaden, right? If you're facing a Deathlight Mirror, which you're unfavored in, get that out as soon as possible. Everything else, you're just trying to stay alive with your Husk, with the blood cards, and you have a pretty cool combo in here with Wild Pyromancer, which if you couple that up with the new core set card Poison Breath, that's a full board clear. That clears everything. And if you have like Orbital Moon on it with the lifesteal, it also heals. So again, we'll have a gameplay video on this later today. I did pretty all right at like top 200. I know Theo did. This list, I believe, originated from China where someone got to like top 20. It's trending well, and I'm just excited. And of course, Ziliacs, we got twin module, perfect module going on there, and Ceaseless in the deck too. Next, we have Hunter, which is doing very well, arguably the other best class out there. It's hard to say right now. A lot of classes are doing well. Handbuff, again, we're back to this handbuff crap. I don't like it, but it's good, so I'm going to recommend it because, yeah, reserve spot, hitting the new card, which you're not playing Imbue for, Mythical Rune Bear. I like to say the buyers, but yeah, just like the old Zergling, it takes both the stats and it's got taunt. So you hit it early with like, you know, your buffs. All of a sudden you have 2 giant minions early on. This game is like no late game validity. It's about trying to scam giant stats really early, and it works enough that you have a positive win rate. And Ziliacs is another target because it has the power module, twin module, which will also duplicate and get a bunch of stats. So very cheesy deck, doesn't do much other than, yeah, scam, but it's good enough that I will recommend it because the win rate is pretty darn high on it. The more traditional Hearthstone deck that's doing really well, which got like double nerfed and is still good, is the Egg Hunter, which still runs at 3 mana, Amphibian Spirit, still runs at 2 mana, Spawning Pool, and the deck is basically the same, and it's still doing really well. Like, the deck is still pretty darn good. Ziliacs is Pylon Module, Ticking Module, so if that was a deck you were enjoying, you know, going wide, it's worse, but it's still pretty good compared to everything else, and yeah, nothing. I don't know if any cards have really changed in it. It's just a really solid board-based token deck that can be really hard to remove. So yeah, if you want to give that Hunter deck a go, it's still going. Zarimi Priest is probably the most contentious of the decks I've been hearing about because it's pretty dark. We face this forever, right? We have faced this forever with Zarimi giving you that extra turn. It's already been nerfed twice, right? Started at 5 dragons, then went to 8, and now it's based on played rather than summoned. And it's still pretty crazy because you have tutors in here, like Tormented Dreadwing. You have the tutor of Scale Replica, and you're very likely to hit, you know, your big dragons. And what you do is you play Naralax, making your dragons 1, Ysera, and then play like double Briar Spawn, and then Zarimi, take those 2 turns, and your opponent is absolutely murdered. It's like Murmur Shaman with dragons, right? But instead of a giant unanswerable board that probably doesn't OTK you, it's a giant unanswerable board that kills you in 1 turn. So it's Murmur with a bit of a different flavor, and pretty frustrating. But yeah, it's really good. People are doing really well with it. So if you want to give it a go, summon a giant board of dragons to kill your opponent, it certainly does the trick. Tree Paladin, probably the coolest new thing to emerge, although kind of, again, cheesy, where everything, I'm going to make a video on this. It's all about everything's brute force tutoring. With your tutor of Ursine Maul will draw your Ursal. It'll draw your Shaladristle, which you play this card, it will corrupt this and play it, and then you have 3 waves of those corrupted cards, and Sunsapper Lanessa can double up on the buff, on the AoE, do a lot of good stuff. It's just to survive there. You have all these early game cards. You have Wisp just to throw away, right? You need that hand space. So that's why it's there. You can throw it away when you play your Grill Master, another tutor card that can also get this going on. And you can try and get coins to like Metal Detector, O Manager to get things out. And we even have the Asteroid card in here, mainly just because then we could draw 2 cards with Dragon Scale Armaments. Why imbue when we can do this, right? It feels like this wasn't the intention of these cards, but that's what's going on. So yeah, Tree Paladin might be something you want to try. I did try it myself. I couldn't win with the damn deck. So the stats are good. Maybe I'm bad or had a bad run, but just a warning on that. Imbued Druid looks like it's finally legit. I'm going to try and have a gameplay video on this in the next couple days. Top 1K, it's at like 52%, so something to look for. You got, of course, Hamul giving you that active imbue right away. Every 2 spells, you upgrade that hero power. We're just running a lot of cheap spells. The recently buffed Resplendent Dreamweaver. Our main late game is just Malorn. We're not running Scenarios or anything that or like that. Or apparently, I am so shocked that Grove Shaper not worth, but I guess you get enough generation as it is. So yeah, if you're looking for some Imbued Druid, this deck is apparently doing quite well, and hopefully we'll have a gameplay video on it pretty darn soon. I'm planning on streaming this deck on Monday, so hopefully Tuesday we can get some gameplay on that. Protoss Mage, still pretty good. Imbue Mage, not as good. Basically, because Colossus is just silly, right? You ramp that up, you kill your opponent. We're even running Youthful Brewmasters to bounce it and play it again and again. And you have a ton of armor gain. Shield Battery, you have your Arcane Artificer, so you have ways to stay alive. Sleet Skater, freeze the board with Bob. It's just a bunch of stalling. Get your hero card out. Get Colossus out, murder your opponent. Again, another deck people really don't like to face all that much, but if you want to play it, it's still pretty good. Lower on the power level, but something you might want to consider. And lastly, this deck's doing pretty darn well. Ravenous Fell Hunters seeing play in Sus Demon Hunter, where the whole crewmate deck, and the idea is, of course, you have your crewmates you can get with like Recruiter or Headhunt, or in particular, Durdra, Rebel Captain, which will then shuffle a bunch into your deck, and then Deathrite will draw some more. Well, we could keep bringing that back with Ravenous Fell Hunter, activating with Return Policy, and just overwhelm your opponent with crewmates, as well if you have all your good aggressive early game with that Priest Tourist in particular. So you got Reach and Acupuncture, you got the Brain Masseuse. So overall, pretty good aggressive deck, and you can play those crewmates and get used to that Ravenous Fell Hunter that is still pretty good despite not being able to give you infinite armor. In Wild, well, it's Wild. Paladin's really good there. I could recommend like 4 or 5 Paladin decks. I'll go with Call to Arms, which is probably the best one out there. Basically, you play Order in the Court, you automatically draw a Beam or like Call to Arms, and then you play Call to Arms, and then you just go from there and lock your opponent out, whether it's like the Nerubian Web Lord, you've got Dirty Rats, you got Crab Rider, which you could buff up, and really good. Showdown at 2, seeing play, and facing this a lot on my Legend climb this month, and yeah, I can attest to it. It is very strong, just like Libram Paladin, which get your Librams going. They're 0 pretty quickly. Your tutors draw your tutors. You have 0 mana buffs. You Lanessa them all, and yeah, it also overwhelms pretty heavily. And of course, Showdown, Prismatic Beam. I do not know why they fully reverted both of them, but they did because apparently Paladin was losing a couple of games in Wild. So yes, Paladin, very dominant. 2 decks you can take. Shadow Priest, you want quick games, quick climb, just go face, deal a bunch of damage. The Revert to Thirsty Drifter has given them, you know, another 0 mana card to play. Very aggressive deck. Basically everything's like 0 mana or 2 or 1, right? And that's about it. Go face, the usual deal, and the best card by far, Void Touched Attendant, which I cannot believe is still haven't been nerfed after all these years. We will also, of course, recommend Big Shaman because it's just really good. You get Ancestor's Call out a giant minion, Muck Morpher, hopefully hit like Thunderbringer, and just get a sane early board that kills your opponent. And if you don't, well, you lose and then you move on to the next game, right? That's about it. Not really any other validity to it. You could tutor things with like Fairy Tale Forest, and that is about it. You know, you got card draw and all that good stuff. So yeah, definitely a strong deck. It's been forever. Imbue Mage, I'm gonna highlight a more secret-based version. We had a video on it, which I thought that deck, the version I did for that video was good. I basically got to Legend with it. I got the last few games done with a different deck we'll talk about in a second. But if you want to play this more secret version with like Costume Singer, we got Tour Guide to take advantage of that hero power, all the imbues, but the best part, of course, is Sing Along Buddy into Reckless Apprentice and Omega Nuke your opponent, and it does some pretty darn absurd stuff. And the deck that I got to Legend with Imbue Mage, this list was from Schmoopy Daddy. I believe he's on Twitch. I don't know if he has a YouTube, but regardless, really cool list with Odin, Renethal. You got Geppetto to bring back all these armor giving cards, Rover, Razorfin, Rockstar, but basically it's all about Risky Skipper gaining a bajillion armor, whether it's to just stay alive or kill your opponent. Can do a lot of good stuff. You got Theotar in there. I stole somebody's Uther when they're doing Exodia Paladin, so that was pretty satisfying. Our ETC, we've got Coroner because it could freeze and silence, which is valuable. Fizzle for value, Tight Lit Witness to get through Ice Block. And overall, I just had a really good time playing this. Lots of cycle, lots of armor gain, and yeah, the inevitability of that Odin can do some work and basically try and beat. It helps against the aggro deck, like Shadow Priest, Paladin, you got a good shot against, and even against the mages, you can gain so much armor that they just can't kill you. So it actually has a shot against most of the main meta decks. So if you have the cards, give it a go. And there you go, the deck recommendations so far from the latest balance patch. We will probably have an update video, I would think, in a week, because I don't expect the meta to stay exactly like this. It's been changing every day so far. Feels like our first kind of expansion launch. There is a lot of stuff not performing. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow, like, you know, Wild Gods, a lot of the Imbued stuff, Dark Gifts. But overall, at least there is more variety. And most importantly, we don't have to face Armor Demon Hunter anymore. That is like a win in itself. Anyways, good luck with these decks. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.